Okay, so another little project to do on this truck is this '04 Dodge Dakota. It came without a tailgate. The previous owner damaged it pretty bad, I guess, and it was unusable. He said, "You can't get a new one." Well, I'm like, hey, I can go to the scrap yard and find one. Best one I could find locally that was reasonably priced was silver. So I painted it white. It's a close match. Doesn't matter. It's just an old beater truck. Put some 2K clear on it. Turned out pretty good. It's kind of hard to see, I guess, the shine in it here, but it kind of matches pretty well to the shine on the original paint. But the next project, part of that, is that it had a plastic liner on it. I took that off, so I didn't like it. These things are so slick. It has a spray-in bed liner, but so I found this stuff online. Went to Amazon, picked up a can of it. Herculiner. I don't know. Seemed like it had good reviews. We'll see. Herculiner. Roll-on applicators. Stuff. I don't know. I'm going to tape it off and try to find a line somewhere, and I'll match this line up here pretty well as best I can with some tape. Scuff it up and roll it on and see what we get. Oh. Here's this little kit that I got off of Amazon to roller applicator for paint and bed liner, texture, coatings. So we just have the stuff we need to do this job. Looks like got what we need. A little brush, foam type roller thing, extension handle if you needed that, smaller brush, couple little trays, maybe a tray with a liner. I don't know, should work. I need all that for a simple tailgate job, but can't buy pieces and parts, and it's not that expensive. First it says prep the surface, wash it down, clean any debris, oil, that sort of stuff. Sand it with 100 grit paper or less. No higher than 100 grit sandpaper. After sanding, clean it off again. And then you start, put your first coat down and wait 1 to 4 hours, and then do the second coat. We'll see how she goes and get this thing taped up. Do a little sanding on it. So I'm just going to use some of this blue painter's tape. This happens to be 3M brand, which is what I have laying around, so that's what I'm going to use. Guess we'll go over to the edge of this maybe. Sometimes you got to use small pieces. A bunch of small pieces. Let's see what this does. That's it. Beat up the side of the truck. Front section done. Across the top. Don't mind my messy garage. Let's put this in little pieces so it's manageable. It ain't got to be perfect. I'll never look at it this close again. Got some 100 grit paper. Here we go. No going back now. Here, I'm not gonna bore you with all this sanding. Then I'll clean up some of this dust. And next I'm going to use a little isopropyl alcohol. 70% is a cleaner degreaser. Get some of this dust and crap off here. Hopefully. Make it stick. Yeah, it's pretty heavy stuff. Might have to go over twice. Try not to rip off all my tape. I have to double check that before I get started. Alright, I don't know how well it'll show up or if at all in the camera, but you can see everything's kind of got a dull finish to it. I did go over it about 2 or 3 times with the alcohol and try to get all these little corners pretty good, clean, scuffed up with the sandpaper. Hopefully we got it good enough that it sticks good. I think that's kind of important. Don't want the stuff flaking off going down the road. I don't know if there's a special tool for it, but these little clips that come on this can, man, that thing will put out an eye when you're trying to pry it off over the screwdriver. Be careful of that. Make sure you wear your safety glasses. That's your safety tip for the day. Wow. Alright, so it says, do not shake can. Open with care. Contents under pressure. Let's see. Guess I should have got one of the 10 million can opener. Right tool for the job. Maybe. Wow. Man, they don't want you to get in this thing. I'm seriously ripping at this can, and it is not giving up. You gotta be kidding me. See, right now I'm gonna get this crap all over me. This is ridiculous. Oh my God. What a lid, man. Holy moly. Ain't no going back with that lid. Well, that was a challenge, wasn't it? Okay, it says stir. Let's stir. I don't know. Pour some of this in there. God, this is gonna make a mess. That's gonna make a mess. We will see how it works. I guess soak this thing up pretty good. do. So I should have probably started up front. No, that's not good. Yeah, before I get any further. Let me see if I can get this top. I said front, but I meant top. I do this first and I can be sure to get it all over my shirt, right? Oh man, that stuff is going everywhere. Holy cow. Maybe I should have watched some videos before I did this, huh? I figured how hard could it be? Ah, yep, got it on my shirt. Sure enough. Do this down there at the edge. Pink, this little pink brush, maybe. Maybe it won't drip quite as bad. This stuff is dripping all over my floor. Guess I'll be scraping that up. What a mess. Holy moly. I might climb up in the bed so I don't get this stuff even more on me. Doesn't quite give the texture of the roller, but the roller's only going to work on the tops. Hard to get down in the corners. Well, I think you get the idea. Let's try it. Whoosh. Do the best you can. Well, there was the first coat. Wrapped my little brush in some plastic wrap. Covered the can in some plastic wrap. Suppose this takes 1 to 4 hours to dry. I got some puddles down here. Big puddles. That might take, shoot, that might take overnight. You don't want to do this without covering your garage floor or dirt driveway or whatever. Look at that mess. Good thing I don't care about my floor. If I did, sorry about my luck. Alright, so I'll throw away, I guess, this little liner and use this main tray for the second coat. Went ahead and put the second roller, a new roller on. My brush doesn't hold up, they did send a little bit bigger brush. Use that. This is definitely not for the faint of heart, I can tell you that. What a mess. Well, I think it's going to turn out okay. Once it dries and I get the second coat on it, I think it's going to look nice, but whew. Yeah, maybe I should have watched the video instead of making a video. I thought, how hard can it be? It's just Herculiner. I wasn't expecting to be so runny, but well, this has been about 3 hours, so the flares are still a little bit tight. Get puddled up. The bottom is sloped down a little bit, puddled up some, but for the most part it's not tacky. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the second coat and let it dry overnight. I'm not going to raise it up. I'm just going to crawl underneath here and do it. As you can see, it made a mess on my floor. I don't care about the floor so much, but if you care about your floor, you better cover it with something, cardboard, paper, or whatever. Protect your floor. Just so you know, it makes a mess. This stuff is kind of runny, much thinner than I thought it was going to be, but it looks like it's going to do a pretty good job. So I think I'll be pleased once it's done. But just make sure you protect everything. You don't want black stuff on. I mean, I'll clean that up later. But the floor is so dirty, it should scrape right up. Okay, so this brush has been covered in the plastic wrap for like 3.5 hours, and it's still usable. So I'm going to use this brush again. Stir the mixture. Turn off this noise. Turn off some of this noise. Sorry about that. So I restirred the can with the screwdriver again. As I said, to make sure that the whatever doesn't settle out of it. I don't know, it's like almost looks like a texture material or something. It doesn't settle out of it. So we'll dump this in here. Might as well dump the brush before I put anything on the front edge, so I don't get my fat belly shirt on it. Get this thing nice and soaked so I make a nice mess. Yeah, nice mess. Alright, let me get this around here so I don't mix this stuff up a little bit. So to make sure you mix it in the pan and the, oh wow, look at all that texture stuff. Yeah, definitely mix it. believe that's a successful second coat. Wouldn't have to do, I might have wasted some, but I wouldn't have to do a whole lot more with a quart. Pardon the noise, I've got the fan turned on to get some of these fumes out of here. This stuff's pretty noxious. Wouldn't want to do it in a closed area, cold climate or nothing. Better to do it outside. But thankfully I've got a ceiling fan to get rid of, get rid of those fumes. So that helps. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. Instead of quart. I really didn't have anything left over. I might have put it on a little too heavy, but it looks like they did a pretty good job on the tailgate. You may have different result, but I like it. We'll do a final presentation maybe tomorrow after it dries. Alright, here's the finished product on the tailgate. I think it turned out pretty good. Got my lines pretty well matched up with the old bed liner. Doesn't look too bad. It's got a nice texture to it. I think it should be pretty durable. Removed all the tape last night just after I finished, I don't know, maybe about an hour after I finished the second coat. And everything's dried up pretty good. Should be a pretty durable surface. I like it better than that plastic one that was on it because they're so slick. And plus it somewhat matches the Line X. Not a bad little project. A little bit runnier than I expected at the beginning, but it turned out nice. Not bad. I recommend it. If anybody needs to patch up or, I don't know, maybe do the whole truck bed, I guess. Some people do their whole vehicles in it.